Chapter 2. Golf for Relaxation and Enjoyment. I once asked a well-known pro what he thought about when he hit the ball. He scratched his head, pondered a moment, and then answered with the air of a man who has met a problem and come away with the only possible conclusion. "Nothing," he said. In contrast to this pro, there is an old member of a club near my home in Houston who happens to be a judge. The judge knows almost everything there is to know about the subject of golf. He can quote the rules almost verbatim, paragraph and page numbers included. He knows exactly how a golfer should fade the ball with a 1-iron, how to play a brassy out of a sand trap, how to draw the ball off a downhill lie. The judge had been playing golf for over 40 years. In that time, he has taken lessons from any and everybody, from Harry Varden to the assistant caddy master at his club. Despite the fact he is an advisor to one national golf association and consultant to another, he will seek advice about his game from anybody at hand. This could be his wife, who has a 44 handicap, the other members of his Sunday morning foursome, none of whom have ever qualified for the fifth flight in anything, or his caddy, who has never played golf in his life. Asking the judge what he thinks about when he hits the ball would be like asking Einstein what he thinks about relativity. When it comes to golf, the judge is the best man I know with a verb and the absolute worst with a club. On the golf course, the judge couldn't beat Tom Thumb with a hatchet. I doubt that he's ever thoroughly enjoyed a round of golf. The difference between the judge and our pro, who thinks of nothing when he hits the ball, is that the judge has complicated the game out of all proportion to what it ought to be, while the pro has reduced its elements to their least common denominators. Preeminent among them is the fact that those who play the best golf of which they are capable relax and enjoy their game, their own game. And for those who relax and enjoy their own game, play the best golf of which they are capable. A better disposition is invariably followed by better golf. What do golf pros do on their day off? They play golf. Simply because golf is their business doesn't mean that pros don't enjoy the game. I've never seen a lawyer argue a case with a smile on his face, but that doesn't mean he doesn't enjoy the law profession. Any discussion of golf must break into two subjects: how to hit the ball and how to play the game. In my discussions of each, there will be nothing foreign to you as a golfer. Anyone, champion or weekend golfer, has been faced with the problems of consistent putting, adding yardage to his wood shots, and recovering from a sand trap. The better, more enjoyable golf I expect you to play after reading this book can be done with the swing you already have. No one can change his golf swing. The best he can do is take it apart and see what makes it tick, and then put it back together again. But it still will be the same old golf swing. It's your swing, and you're stuck with it. Realize that, and you're on a merrier way to better golf. The golf swing as such is an elusive thing anyway. Ben Hogan, who certainly can speak with authority, confesses to having 50 swings. There will be no weary repetition in this book of everything you must do in order to swing every club in the bag. What I outline applies to any club unless otherwise noted. There just isn't that much difference in the technique of using the 14 clubs. In hitting the ball, whether it's a 3-foot putt or a 300-yard drive, there are certain things you must do. As shots vary, there are also certain things you need not do. Why concern yourself with the latter? The system of instruction whereby you are first taught how to hit a full drive, then a fairway wood, then a long iron, down the scale to the 3-foot putt, seems to me to be an exercise in negativity. You are first taught everything you must do in order to hit the ball properly, and then as you go through the other 13 clubs, you are given a long list of consecutive don'ts. When I teach someone how to hit the ball, I like to get to the heart of the matter. The heart of golf is the cup. The only club in the bag specifically designed to get the ball in the cup is the putter. Why not then learn it first? Rather than end with the 3-foot putt, I'm going to start with it. I've found that there is nothing that goes into the procedure of hitting a 3-foot putt that cannot be incorporated into the full drive. But obviously there is a great deal in the drive that is useless in the 3-foot putt. Those certain things which I believe you must do in order to hit the ball properly, such as using your shoulders, hitting down on the ball, pausing at the top of the swing, using your feet, and hitting the ball with less than your full strength, I will inject when, but not until, they are needed as we go up the scale through the key shots. The key shots are the 3-foot putt, the chip, the pitch, the full iron, and the drive. There is no other shot in golf which is not a ramification of one of these. The procedure then of starting with the putter is the logical way for the beginner to put his swing together and for the expert to take his apart. Although you cannot build a new swing for yourself, you can incorporate certain actions into the one you already have. Anyone capable of playing golf is capable of utilizing his shoulders, hitting down on the ball, pausing at the top of his swing, using his feet, and swinging at the ball with less than his full strength. Since you are capable of these actions, why not make use of them? How to play the game is largely a matter of common sense. To play your best game with the method I will give you of hitting the ball, you must play the shot you are most apt to bring off. In other words, you must play percentage golf. In this respect, I advocate the use of the Texas wedge, usually ignored by the average golfer. I depart radically from the popular slogan, "Keep your head down," by telling you to look up. Most people go about improving their game by studying the shots they play best. A less frustrating way would be in the opposite direction. Learn the shots you can't play. Percentage golf is not so much the science of playing the game with the shots of which you are capable as it is of playing without the shots of which you are incapable. Take a really good look at yourself. Learn your capabilities and, more importantly, your incapabilities. They'd be throwing a net over me if I attempted to win tournaments for a living with the brave but foolish methods of high handicap players. I'm amazed at the hairbreadth shots they often attempt. I've never aimed at the pin with anything longer than a niblick, yet I have seen 90 shooters aim at it with a brassy. How do you expect to hit the pin with a ball and a club when they can't hit it with a rifle? Actually, you will hit more pins by not aiming at it. That's not a paradox, it's percentage. I'm reminded of an old boy down in Texas who was the best tightrope walker you ever saw when the rope was 2 feet off the ground. He could do flips and cartwheels and even stand on his hands. But do you know, when they raised the rope to 40 feet, he couldn't even walk across it. You have to know what you can do in competition. When they raise the rope to 40 feet, you have to be able to take what you learn on the practice tee and use it on the course. The golf you play sitting in an easy chair or at a driving range, as such, is worthless. Like the tightrope walker who at ground level should have confined himself to those manoeuvres he could accomplish at 40 feet, you should confine your learning to that which you can use on the course. Forget about the intricacies of the hip action, the time to uncock your wrists, and all the other complicated phrases of the swing that actually have nothing to do with hitting the ball. Unquestionably, the average golfer can improve his game by getting himself a brand new viewpoint on it. In this book, I hope to turn you around and point you in the right direction. As an example of how a change in viewpoint can improve a man's golf game, take Bobby Jones. After a series of defeats in the hands of golfer he felt were less than he, Jones realized that he was playing two varieties of golf, match and medal. Jones decided that while technically there were two such games, mentally there should only be one. He began to limit his strategy to medal play only, and oddly enough became an outstanding match player. Previous to this decision, Jones had been a good golfer. After it, he was great.